smoke one's really nice. I've only tried it for the first 90 days.
All right, brother. Can you just describe what you just watched?
Just a cow getting killed.
A cow what?
A cow getting killed.
Cow getting killed, yeah. Had you ever seen anything like that before?
Yeah.
Yeah, like footage or real life?
Real life.
Yeah, okay. Have you? Oh, you're a chef. But have you been in a slaughterhouse before? Oh, okay, right. Just for research kind of thing, or?
About 2 years ago, I went to Kildare Chilling in Kildare.
Yeah.
Meeting friends. You worked there. I got to go in.
Yeah.
Float about.
Yeah.
Pretty same.
Yeah, same. Did you know that happens for dairy?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool.
After 4. I didn't know it was 4 or 5 years. I thought it was 4. But I knew the build above it.
Yeah, right. And do you feel like that's justified because we have a desire to eat cheese or drink cow's milk?
No, not really.
Not really? Yeah.
I personally don't believe in mass production.
Okay.
But I don't know, it's kind of a bittersweet thing.
In what way?
You're going to have people to drink milk that don't really care where it comes from. And then you're going to have people that are not concerned but more aware of where their dairy products come from.
Yeah.
And like that sometimes substitute it. But I don't know, I think it's a bit of a, as I said, it's a mixed bag. You can't please all the people, but people like to hide. They don't pretend. They know what's going on, but they're blinkered, as I call it.
Do you think most people know what's going on? With dairy, for example, do you think most people realise that the calves get taken from the mum, the calves get slaughtered, things like that?
These days, with the internet and with everything else that's published, it's not that hard to find. I mean, it's not that hard not to see.
That's
but
true.
again, I'm under the belief that people see what they want to see.
Yeah.
So,
do you feel that it's an injustice in a way? You know, what we do to innocent, vulnerable beings. Do you feel like it shouldn't happen?
that's again, it's kind of a. It's I suppose it's the way you look at it.
Okay.
From my perspective, I think a little more could be done, as in animal fairness.
Yeah.
But
So what would that look like?
like it says in the video, most of them spend most of their lives in the shed.
Yeah.
Free range, I personally believe in.
Okay.
Like, I don't know, like call it cliche, but a happy cow is an easy cow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
for me personally, if there's a difference between free range meat and the mass production.
There is definitely a difference. I agree. But one thing that is the same is that even on a free range farm, they still end up at the slaughterhouse. They still get stabbed in the throat, and it's still just for cheese or just for milk. So even if it was less cruel, which can happen, even if it was less cruel, it still ends quite brutally, you know. And when we say that we're a civilized society, when we say that we're against animal cruelty,
and then you have to go back 100 years, 200 years, or whatever, how far back you go, it's always been the way. You know what I mean? Like, people have always
totally. It's been happening a long time.
Yeah, but it's always been the same process of slaughter, or the likes of yourselves that campaign for, I don't know what, like, say for example, the way I think it's the Turks, the way they slaughter their meats. Like, there's different ways of looking at it, but at the end of the day, it's all done the same. Like, you're not going to.
That's right.
You can't euthanize an animal without it feeling something.
Absolutely.
So,
which is why the point that we're trying to make, that I believe, is that we shouldn't be trying to utilize an animal at all. We shouldn't be trying to use them. We shouldn't be trying to take from them. We shouldn't be trying to see them as our property.
Okay, I understand that, but in the same concept, we've always eaten meat. We've always gone about got some way.
That's absolutely true. But,
I mean, like,
do you think that is a justification to continue just because we've done it for a long time? I mean, we've gone to war for a long time, but obviously I think I could probably, without even asking, say that it would be better if it just ended.
Yeah, no,
yeah. And child abuse has been happening for a long time, but I'd much prefer it to stop, even though it's been happening a long time.
Yeah.
And animal abuse too. It's been happening for such a long time, man, but I don't want to see it happen if it doesn't have to.
Yeah, and I suppose I'd be in the concept where I wouldn't put a cow on the same par as child abuse, but I can see the argument behind it.
Yeah.
But for me personally, it's not going to change. and it's just down to the fact that people are going through phases now where, well, I personally think vegan or vegetarian or celiac, gluten-free, all this type of is 9 times out of 10 a fucking
a trend. Yeah, I think you're right.
Jump on the bandwagon.
I think you're right about like gluten-free and things like that, but I actually think even probably with a lot of vegetarians, and even some vegans, but veganism isn't just about a diet or a trend. It's about justice for these innocent beings. And you say that it would probably never happen and it's not going to happen. Do you think that probably a lot of people said the same thing about ending slavery or about equality between men and women?
Well, in that concept, there's still not that much equality between men and women, and slavery still happens today. So,
but we've come a long way. You would agree?
We've come a long way.
Yeah.
No doubt about that.
To be perfect is a challenging thing, but to at least make progress in the right direction is important, surely.
Yes, and I understand that, but in the same concept, you can change one mind today, but you're still going to have 10,000 people walk by that are not going to bat an eyelid. It doesn't affect them personally,
true.
so they're going to look at the signs, have a gander, walk on down the road, eat a burger.
But then one person that we meet today might inspire 50 million people.
You could, right? And
it's
and
you
a
never
small
know.
Possibility, but what I'm saying to you is, you're not like the likes of. Okay, for me personally, I'm on Facebook, Twitter, all that type of stuff, right? 9 times out of 10, you see videos come up on your Facebook, you'll click into them, you'll watch them. You have more way of reaching people that way by social media, right?
Totally.
But from a personal point of view, my kids are 7, right? And they know where their food comes from. Just because I'm a chef, I'm able to explain to them where it comes from. Now, I don't explain the means to them, but they know where it comes from.
They don't explain the what?
I don't explain the means, like as in what happens to the
Why-
animal.
why not?
They know it's killed. But they're 7. I don't want to go down the road and say,
Okay,
okay,
yeah,
I shot
yeah.
that in the head and I cut its throat.
So what do you say?
If she asked me where does the meat come from, I said it comes from the cow in the field.
Yeah.
And it's killed and we butcher it.
Okay, cool.
Like, I don't hide it. I mean, like, it's
Yeah.
not. It's something I can do about it, but it's what I do with it. I mean, like,
Yeah, I was just curious what you said.
yeah.
And do you think that if they saw the process, they probably wouldn't want to eat it anymore?
You see, kids are funny. Some kids will take it to heart, and other kids will just play it down and go about their business.
Do you think that there's something that's quite negative about a child who is probably quite compassionate towards animals and teaching them to be kind to animals, but then at the same time teaching them that it's okay to eat certain animals who've been basically murdered?
I see, it's kind of a double there, right? Because I have dogs at home, right? And my kids are growing up to dogs, and they know how to pet them, they know how to love them, respect them, yeah? And like, they know how to look after animals. But I suppose it's funny because me personally, I don't pay any heeds to it. I get my delivery in of meat, I prep it, I cook it.
Yeah.
I don't.
You don't think about it.
I don't exactly. I don't think about it. Right?
Most people
But
don't.
at the end of the day, if I know where it came from, I'm more inclined to be sympathetic, I suppose is the word you want to use.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, I just see it as, okay, it's going to sound very bad, but I just see cows, pigs, sheep, or whatever. They're a means to an end sometimes.
Yeah.
They're mass produced for mass population, and that's just the way it is at some point.
Totally. I tell you how that because I used to think the exact same thing. So I tell you how that makes me kind of feel for you, man. I feel sad about that for you because they're so much more than just a product on the supermarket shelf. They're innocent beings. They feel pain and suffer. They have their own family. They have their own emotions. They're just like us in so many ways. We're animals too.
Yeah, I understand that concept.
And nothing personal, but because I was like this as well. So for everyone who sees it so easy to reduce such a complex, intelligent life form that we share this planet with, like our neighbors, like our cousins, to reduce them to just a momentary palate pleasure their entire life, to kill them just for a flavor. It's sad to me, brother, because You know, I just think that we are dumbing down, we're numbing ourselves to who they really are in order to be able to do something very cruel. And
Okay, but in that concept, you're not going to go to the field and go, oh, how are you, Jeff, to a cow.
does it matter though?
No, it doesn't matter in that sense, but in the same context, I personally believe you can't put a fucking cow or a sheep or a pig on the same level as yourself or myself.
You don't have to though.
No, but what I'm saying is...
what I'm saying is you don't
it's a
have...
life form, it's a
but,
being.
but they have a heart, they have a brain. Just because they're not exactly like us, in many ways they are like us. Many, many ways. In fact, far more ways are they like us than they are not like us. You know?
Give me one explanation where they are like us, than they're not like us.
They feel pain and suffer and don't want to die. They want to live their life, man, just like us. They care for their families. They eat, they breathe, they sleep. They have blood in their veins. They have a heart that pumps that blood. They have a brain that thinks. They live a certain amount of life. They just want to chill, and sometimes they're joyful and sometimes they're sad. Sometimes they're sick, sometimes they're healthy. Many ways, man. I mean, in what ways aren't they like us would be a question I'd ask you.
As I said to you a minute ago, I don't see them as...
But why? Like, what about them is so different that it justifies us killing them just because we like how they taste?
All right, for me, it's always been what I grew up with. Right?
It's been what, sorry?
It's what I grew up with.
I know.
I've never...
But thinking about it now, can you think of a certain trait that they do or don't have that justifies us doing that to them?
I don't know. I think it's... How do you explain this?
I think if there is one.
No, I'm just... I can't give you an answer. I can't.
Okay.
I can't
cool.
think, but I just...
Can I tell you what I think the answer is?
Mm-hmm.
The thing that most people... Why they view animals differently is because of speciesism, which is a discrimination against other species, and we have a superiority complex, just like white people used to have against black people, and some still do, but it was very widespread then, and just like men used to against women. Sexism, racism, and now we do the same thing with other species. Even though there isn't a trait, you know, that's why I asked. If you can think of one, let me know, but if you can think of a trait that they do or don't have that justifies us killing them just because we like how they taste, tell me. But I don't think there is one, and I think the reason why we do it is simply because we are prejudiced. We can, and we're prejudiced against them just because they're a different species. They look a little bit different. Everything inside is the same, you know, and even a lot of what they do on the outside is the same. We're so similar, man. And yet we treat them worse than we treat the worst sex offenders, the worst child molesters, the worst murderers. That's how we treat them, and they're the most innocent and the most vulnerable beings on this planet. They've never done a thing wrong, man. So what we do is actually, it's like doing it to children. They're not humans, I know, but in terms of how innocent they are and how vulnerable they are, it's like we're doing it to children. And in my opinion, the more vulnerable the victim, the greater the crime. So I think that because of that, it actually is even worse to do this to them than it would have been if they were like, you know, for example, killing a lion. Okay, well maybe they would have killed you, but pigs and cows and chickens and fish, they would never even done anything to us, man. And we just, it's so unnecessary. It's so unnecessary to continue doing it. So good people who wouldn't go out of their way to harm a human and who wouldn't go out of their way to harm an animal, I think it's really important for those people to realize, hey, okay, what we do to animals is cruel and it's violent and it adds to more negativity in this world, in a world that already is full of that. And the least we should do is stop our contribution to animals getting stabbed in the throat unnecessarily, basically. You know, isn't that the least we should do if we claim to be non-violent, peaceful, respectful people? And if you don't claim to be that, shouldn't that be something we strive to be? Because isn't that really the goal, man? To treat others the way that we'd want to be treated, to be kinder, more peaceful people? What do you think?
I get it, I understand it. But again, as I said, it's a hard concept to get past. Right?
It's something we've been doing a long time.
So people, like that. People just have blinkers. People see the cow, they see the burger.
Yeah.
90% they don't see the process.
90%
okay?
they don't even see the cow.
Yeah, and I understand that, and I get that. Right? But or even in my restaurants, we genuinely try source free ranged, right? Now I understand that the slaughter is still the same,
Yeah.
but we're under the, not the belief, more the fairness, I suppose. A happy cow is a fatter cow, and a fatter cow is a tastier cow. I know it's
Yeah.
right, it's probably insensitive to say it now, but that's the way we view it, and that's the way I view it.
Sure.
And
Well, who knows? Potentially, I mean, people not necessarily change overnight, but I think, you know, I didn't even used to care about animals at all, bro. I didn't even like animals. I'm not even an animal lover now. I just know an injustice when I finally see it. I always thought we needed to eat animals to be healthy. When I learned that we don't, I thought, okay, well, why do we do this to them for? And when I couldn't find a better reason than because they taste good, then it became a serious injustice. Yeah, a serious injustice, man. And, you know, oppression shouldn't be something that we continue to participate in if we understand it. And when we have it completely, a whole nother path to walk, a way that is more healthy for us and better for the environment and saves so many lives from a life of suffering and misery, or even if they didn't just go through that, from being murdered, then I think, man, like what better way, what better thing can we do, you know, to help others out of their suffering, to increase the peace, to reduce the violence, and just such small choices like we choose almond milk instead of cow's milk, or we choose the vegan meat instead of the sausages made from killing a pig. It's so easy to do. You probably know all the vegan foods out there now, man, being a chef.
pain in the bollocks, but yeah, I know what you mean.
What was that?
I said they're a pain in the bollocks, but I know what you mean.
What do you mean?
Just in when you're organising the menu now, you have to fucking substitute for everything.
Oh, okay. Yeah, look, man, it's kind of the way of the future, I think. You know, even guys like Bill Gates are investing in plant-based meats. Even the CEO of, I can't remember what it's called right now, but one of the biggest chicken producers in America.
KFC?
Nah, it's not KFC. It'll come to me. But anyway, they're investing in vegan meats as well, man. You know, I don't know. I think there's a big trend going in that direction, and
Exactly, a trend.
but sometimes trends stick, man. And when it's such a good trend, where the food's delicious and it's healthier and it's better for the environment, and people who say they're against animal cruelty can finally live in alignment with that, I see absolutely no reason why we can't just choose the almond milk instead of the cow's milk at the same supermarket. In fact, it makes so much more sense to me that in time it will be a vegan world, because I don't have to convince anyone that animal cruelty is wrong. Everyone already agrees with that. All I have to do is show people that, and here's the way you live that's better for all these reasons. It's better in every way. So to me, it wouldn't make sense for the world to continue going the way it is. And even as a sustainability issue, we can't continue going the way we are, because animal agriculture is so unsustainable. So we'll have to change one way or another anyway. But my hope is just that, you know, when you speak to someone and they're a good person and they care for their kids and they're not a cruel, sadistic individual, my hope is just that people change by their own wishes, and by doing that, you know, making a choice that is good for them, good for your health.
Not gonna lie, it's food for thought.
It's food for thought. That's all it is, man. Something to think about.
Yeah, it is something to think about, and I'm not gonna lie, it's not something that I've deeply thought about, but it has something that I have tried. I tried to be a vegetarian when I was a teenager.
Yeah, right.
It didn't work.
Yeah.
I've never tried vegan. I've never tried almond milk. I've tried vegan meats before.
Yeah.
I didn't like them, but again, taste buds change.
And you know, man, there's a lot out there these days. You didn't like a couple. I've had a couple of burgers I didn't like out and about, but there's a lot of vegan meats. There's one thing you can do, and I'll just tell you about it, no pressure, but it's free. It's called Challenge 22. It's a free 22-day vegan challenge. You get recipes, you get health info, you get everything. Free mentor. It's something that if you want, you can go and just go to the website and sign up for. And, you know, again, man, like challenge22.com.
Okay.
It's better for your kids too, man. You know, not putting dairy, that's made to make a small cow into a very large cow. It's one of the most unhealthy foods for humans, but especially children. And things like meat, especially processed meats, are in the same level carcinogen as cigarette smoking and asbestos. But all meat, any animal protein is linked to causing cancer, and it's just something that we don't need.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, I ate meat every single meal, bro, for 26 years. So.
Well, you 3 steaks a day, so.
Yeah, I was the same. I try to do the same for breakfast. 3 steaks for breakfast if I could. Dude, like there's a better way to live. It's better for everyone. So it's something to think about, like you said.
Yeah, I'll have a look at that when I go home now. Just out of curiosity.
Challenge22.com, brother.
Yeah, I'll have a Google it when I go home and see what the practice with.
No worries, man. Nice. All right. Well, Stephen, right?
Cheers, bro.
Thanks, man. I appreciate the chat.
No worries.
Thank you very much.